Good evening, my dear students. Welcome to my channel Desire to Learn with Mukesh. So, this video is for class 9th students who are studying in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. So, earlier I have uploaded a video of the first chapter, that is matter in our surrounding. Here in this video, we are going to discuss the question answers. Here we will discuss three types of question answer. First is your in-text question answer. In-text means the question answers given in your activity, in your book. Okay. Then we will discuss exercise answers. Exercise means that questions those are given after the ending of the chapter. And also we will discuss some self-created question answers that I have created for you. So here we will discuss all the possible type of question answers. So I wish you will watch the video completely and learn in a better way. And this video will help you to understand the chapter in a very well manner. So without let us start the video. Those who have not watched the summary PPT video of the lesson, I will provide you the link of that video in the description of this video, so you can go to the description and you can find the video and you can watch. So now we are going to discuss all the possible question answers from the chapter matter in our surrounding. This is the first chapter, and this chapter related to your chemistry. Your science book, in your science book, all the chapters are related to physics, chemistry and biology. In higher classes, your science will be divided into 4 categories. Okay, physics, chemistry and biology. In biology there are botany and zoology. So this is related to chemistry, matter in our surrounding. So first, in text question answers, those question answers which are given in your chapter. So first question is, which of the following are matters? Chair, air, love, smell, head, almonds, thought, cold, lemon water, smell of perfume. So here the following substances are matter. You know what is matter? We have already discussed that matter is something which has mass and volume. Volume means it occupies some space, and mass, okay. So the following substances are matter: chair, air, almonds, lemon water, the smell of perfume. Here chair has mass and chair has volume also, right? Because chair occupies some space, so chair will be a matter. Air also has mass and air has volume also. It occupies some space. If you fill it inside a balloon, you can see that air has a mass also and it also has a volume. So this is also a matter. But love is an emotion. This is not a matter. Smell is also not a matter. But smell of perfume is a matter. Why? Because in smell of perfume there are some volatile substances that occupy space and have mass. When the volatile substances pass from one place to another, you can feel the smell. So smell of perfume will be a matter, but only smell is not a matter. Only smell is not a matter, but smell of perfume, smell of anything else, that will be a matter. Then head is not a matter. Almonds are matters. Thought is not a matter. Okay. Cold is not a matter. Lemon water is a matter because it has mass and volume. So something which has mass and volume that occupies some space are called matters. Now question number 2, give reasons for the following observation. The smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away, but to get the smell from cold food you have to go close. Answer to this question will be like this. Evaporation is directly proportional to temperature. Evaporation is directly proportional to temperature. That means if temperature increases, then rate of evaporation will also increase. Means hot food evaporates easily. Particles of matter move faster as the temperature rises. Again, particles of matter are always moving. This is the characteristics of particles of matter. There are 4 characteristics of matter, and one of them is that particles of matter are moving, always moving. And when they are moving, that means they have a kinetic energy. And when temperature increases, then their kinetic energy also increases. So their movement also will increase. So Particles of matter move faster as the temperature rises because the kinetic energy of the particles increases with the temperature. Diffusion of hot food vapor with air becomes very fast. So you also know that diffusion also depends upon temperature. If temperature increases, then rate of diffusion also increases. So all these situations favor to this phenomena that hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away also. Even you are several meters away, then also hot sizzling food, the smell of hot sizzling food will reach you. But smell of cold food will not reach you. So this is the answer. Diffusion of hot food vapor with air becomes very fast because temperature increases, right? And can reach to a distant place within a very short time. Okay. So these are the three reasons because of why the smell of hot sizzling food reaches you very quickly even if you are several meters away from the food also. Question number 3. A diver is able to cut through water in a swimming pool. Which property of matter does this observation show? The phenomena of cutting the water by the diver show that matter has space between its particles. Okay, if matter does not have space between its particle, then how can we cut through the water? That means matter has a space between its particle. This is the property that the what do we call the situation tells us. What are the characteristics of the particles of matter? Characteristics of particles of matter are given below. First one is particles of matter have space between them. Particles of matter are continuously moving. Particles of matter have an attraction force between them. Particles of matter are very small in size. So these are the four characteristics of particles of matter. This is very important. You have to remember. Okay, particles of matter have space between them. Particles of matter are continuously moving. Particles of matter have an attraction force between them. Particles of matter are very small in size. Then next question, the mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. Density equal to mass by volume. Arrange the following in order of increasing density. Increasing means from lower density to higher density. Okay, air exhausts from chimneys, honey, water, chalk, cotton and iron. You know the correct order of density of, for gas, liquid and solid are gas, then liquid, then solid. That means density of solid is more than density of liquid. Again, density of liquid is more than density of gas. So we will arrange accordingly. So first, the thing that is the lowest density will be your air. Then exhaust from chimneys will have more than air, more density than air. Then water has more density than all these, matlab both two, air and exhaust from chimneys. Then honey, then cotton, then chalk, then iron gas. So this is the ascending order. That means iron gas, sorry, iron, not gas. Gas is your printing mistake. Okay, so only iron. So iron has the highest density among all these things, and air has the lowest density among all these things. So in the ascending order it will be air, then exhaust from chimneys, then water, then honey, then cotton, then chalk, then iron. Now question number 6, tabulate the differences in the characteristics of states of matter, and B, comment upon the following: rigidity, compressibility, fluidity, filling a gas container, shape, kinetic energy and density. First we will have to answer the first question, that is tabulate the differences in the characteristics of states of matter. That means you have to fill a table like this. Okay, so first I have written some things about solid, liquid and gas. This is not required. You don't have to write. Okay, you can write or you don't have to write. Okay, that is optional. So you have to make a table like this. Okay, characteristics solid, liquid, gas. So first of all, shape solid. In case of solid, shape is fixed shape. In case of liquid, it is no fixed shape. Okay, in case of gas, no fixed shape. So solid has fixed shape, but liquid and gas don't have a fixed shape. Then if you talk about volume, solid has fixed volume, liquid has also fixed volume, but gas has no fixed volume. Okay, then intermolecular force, that means the force of attraction between the particles of the matter, solid, liquid and gas. So in case of solid it is maximum, in case of liquid it is less than solids, in case of gas it is very less. Then intermolecular space, the space between the particles. Okay, in case of solid it is very less, in case of liquid it is more than solids, in case of gas it is maximum. Then if you talk about rigidity and fluidity, Solid is rigid, it cannot flow, but liquid can flow, it is not rigid. In case of gas, gas also can flow and it is not rigid. Then if you talk about compressibility, then in case of solid, compressibility is negligible, very, what we call, very less. Okay, you can't compress by physical manner, that means by your hand you can't compress, you have to what we call, use some machines, and that is also negligible. Okay, in case of liquid you can compress, that is compressible. In case of gas it is highly compressible. Okay, and here I have written some points about solid, liquid and gases. Solids have a definite volume, solids do not tend to flow, solids are rigid. Generally solids have a definite shape with very few exceptions like sponge, rubber band, etc. Okay, sponge, rubber band do not have definite shape, but all other solids have definite shape. Solids are generally incompressible with very few exceptions like sponge, rubber band. In case of sponge and rubber band, you can compress, but all other solids are not compressible. Then liquids also have a definite volume. Liquids tend to flow. Liquids are not rigid. Liquids do not have a definite shape. They take the shape of the container. In which container you will keep the liquid, the shape of the liquid will be like as per the container. Liquids are almost incompressible. Then gases do not have a definite volume. Their volume varies with the container in which they are stored or kept. Gases also tend to flow. Gases are not rigid. Gases do not have a definite shape. Gases are compressible. Okay. Now next question. Question number B. We have to define some terms. First term is rigidity. Property by which an object retains its shape and size is called rigidity. It is a property of matter to continue to remain in its shape when treated with an external force. Solids are rigid, whereas liquids and gases are not rigid. Rigid means it is a property of matter to continue to remain in its shape when treated with an external force. If you will apply some external force on a rubber band, then it will again come to its initial, what we call, shape. That is called rigidity. But in case of gases and liquids, once you apply external force, once you change the shape, then the shape will not again come to the initial shape. Okay, then compressibility. Compressibility is the property due to which a substance can be compressed, means its volume can be decreased. Compressed means you can decrease the volume by applying force, right? Gases are compressible, whereas solids and liquids are not compressible, but it's very negligible. You can compress only to a little extent, and that also by applying, by using some machines. Then fluidity. Flowing tendency of a substance is called fluidity. That's why liquids are also called fluids, because they can flow. Okay, if you pour some liquid, water or milk, then it will flow from upper area to lower area, so gases and liquids are fluids, solids are not. Then filling a gas container. A large volume of gas can be filled in a gas container by compressing it under very high pressure, because gases are compressible. That means compressible means their volume can be decreased by applying some force. Then next is your shape. The property of having a definite geometry is called shape of a particular substance. Solids have a definite shape, whereas gases and liquids do not have shape. And liquids show the shape of the container in which you will fill the liquids. The shape of the liquid will be like that. If you will fill water in a water bottle, then the shape of the water will be like a water bottle. If you fill the same water in a glass, then the shape of the water will be like a glass, right? Then kinetic energy. The energy possessed by a moving object or by the moving molecules is called kinetic energy. On increasing the temperature, kinetic energy of a substance also increases. So kinetic energy also increases with temperature. If you increase temperature, then kinetic energy will be more. It will increase. And molecules of gases possess highest kinetic energy. Yes, molecules of gases possess highest kinetic energy. Okay, in case of gases, the molecules possess highest kinetic energy, because gases always move very fast as compared to solid and liquids. Then density, the mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. Density equal to mass by volume. Then give reasons. In science, reasoning is very important. Okay, so you have to first understand the situation, then only you can answer. So first question is, a gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept. Why? Force of attraction between the molecules of gases is negligible. So molecules of gases occupy the maximum space available to them. High kinetic energy possessed by their molecules also help for the same. Okay. Then a gas exerts pressure on the walls of the container. The motion of particles is random and having very high speed in the gaseous state. Due to this random movement, the particles hit each other and also the walls of the container. The pressure exerted by the gas is due to this force exerted by these particles per unit area on the walls of the container. Then a wooden table should be called a solid. Why? There is a strong force of attraction between the molecules of wood and the intermolecular space is also very least. Least means very less. So a wooden table has a definite shape and volume. That's why wooden table is a solid. Okay, then we can easily move our hand in air, but to do the same through a solid block of wood, we need a carrot expert. Why? Air molecules are very far from each other due to the negligible force of attraction working between them. The intermolecular force in gases is very least. So our hand gets sufficient space to move in air and we also displace some air molecules by applying force. But a solid block of wood has a closely packed molecules. So there is no question of the movement of hand through it in absence of suitable force in proper direction. So we need a carrot expert so that he or she can apply suitable force in proper direction somewhat to somewhat extent, okay, to do the job. This is also very rare. This is also very least. Okay. Next question is liquids generally have lower density as compared to solids, but you must have observed that ice floats on water. Find out why. Liquids have lower density than that of solids. You know, water is also liquid, so it should also have less density than that of solid, that is ice. But what happens in the case of in the case of what you call ice? What happens? There is cage-like structures in ice. There is cage-like structures. So, presence of vacant spaces between water molecules when they linked in ice, the number of these spaces is comparatively less in water. The cage-like structure, the spaces is less in water but higher in what we call ice. That's why being more porous than water, ice is lighter than water because what we call air molecules are there in the cage structure of the ice. So it floats over the surface of water because it's what we call volume. Sorry, what we call its density is lower than your water because density is mass by volume. Then convert the following temperature to Celsius scale. In order to convert Kelvin to Celsius scale, you have to only simply you have to subtract 273 from the Kelvin reading. So 300K minus 273 equal to 27 degrees Celsius. So 300 Kelvin equal to 27 degrees Celsius. You have to just subtract 273 from the Kelvin in order to get the Celsius reading. K minus 273 equal to T degrees Celsius. Okay. Then 573 Kelvin minus 273 equal to 300 Celsius. What is the physical state of water at 250 degrees Celsius? 100 degrees Celsius. As the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, so at 250 degrees Celsius, the state of water will be steam or water vapor, that is gaseous state. Because you know the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So at 250 degrees Celsius, 250 degrees Celsius is more than the boiling point, that is 100 degrees Celsius. So at 250 degrees Celsius, the state of water will be steam or water vapor, that is gaseous state. Then at 100 degrees Celsius, there will be a transition of liquid state into the gaseous state. This is the transition period. So at this temperature, the state is maybe liquid as well as gaseous or maybe both. Then for any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during the change of state? This is very tricky question. Why? Because this is due to latent heat. Look at this answer. During the change of state of a substance, the temperature remains constant. This can be understood with the help of an example. When a solid is heated to its melting point, the temperature first rises and becomes constant when it reaches its melting point. When it reaches its melting point, it becomes constant. Now, on further heating, the heat energy provided to the substance helps to break the attraction force between the solid molecules, break the intermolecular force that is acting between the solid molecules. This heat is called latent heat, and that is why the temperature does not rise, because the increasing temperature helps in breaking the intermolecular force between the solid molecules. That does not what we call raise the temperature. It only be useful. It only helps in what we call breaking the intermolecular force that is acting between the solid molecules, so that its state will change. So temperature does not rise, only the state changes. Okay. Then suggest a method to liquefy atmospheric gas. By applying pressure and reducing the temperature, atmospheric gases can be liquefied, because to change the state of a matter, you can either apply temperature or either apply pressure. By applying pressure and reducing the temperature, you have to increase the pressure and reduce the temperature. Then only atmospheric gases can be liquefied. LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, in a cylinder, the petroleum gas is liquefied. That is called liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. Why does a desert cooler cool better on a hot, dry day? A desert cooler functions on the basis of evaporation. The rate of evaporation increases with increase in temperature and decrease in humidity. So as evaporation increases when the day is hot and dry, so the desert cooler functions to a better extent on a hot, dry day. Because on hot, dry day, the humidity is lower and also the temperature is higher. So with increase in temperature and decrease in humidity, rate of evaporation also increases. That's why the desert cooler cool better on a hot, dry day. How does the water kept in a earthen pot, motka, become cool during summer? Large number of tiny pores are present on the surface of the earthen pot, that is motka. The water stored in the earthen pot, that means motka, evaporates faster through these pores due to the increased exposed surface area. Because if you will increase the surface area, then rate of evaporation will also increase. As the process of evaporation causes cooling, the stored water inside the earthen pot becomes cool. And evaporation also causes cooling. So that's why if the rate of evaporation increases, then the rate of cooling also will increase. So the water stored inside earthen pot becomes cool. So that's why in summer season we keep water inside matka or earthen pot. Then why does our palm feel cold when we put some acetone or petrol or perfume on it? Acetone, petrol, perfume, etc. being volatile, these are volatile substances, so they evaporate very fast when exposed to larger surfaces. During the process, they absorb the required latent heat of vaporization from the palm. If you keep them on palm, then they will absorb the latent heat of vaporization from the palm. Latent heat of evaporation means, we will discuss later. There are some questions related to this, and I will here tell you shortly that in short that heat of vaporization, latent heat of evaporation means the heat amount that is required to change the state from liquid to vapor. But temperature will not increase, only the state will change from liquid to what we call vapor, that means gaseous state. So the process causes cooling, and evaporation also evaporation causes cooling. So the palms feels cool, because the latent heat of the amount that is needed for latent heat of evaporation, that means to change the state from liquid to solid, that amount of heat is absorbed from your palm. So that's why your palm becomes cool. Why are we able to sip hot tea or milk faster from a saucer rather than a cup? A liquid has a large surface area in a saucer than in a cup. Thus, it evaporates faster and cools faster in a saucer than in a cup, because the surface area becomes more. If you will increase the surface area, then the rate of evaporation will also increase. For this reason, we are able to sip hot tea or milk faster from a saucer rather than a cup. What type of clothes should we wear in summer? We should wear light colored cotton clothes in summer, because cotton is a good absorber of water, that is sweet. In summer season we feel more sweet, we pass more sweet our body. It provides more surface area for the sweet to evaporate, because if surface area increases, then the rate of evaporation also increase. Light colors absorbs less heat also. Another reason is that light colors absorb less heat, bright colors absorb more heat. So wearing light colored cotton clothes helps us feeling cool and comfortable. That's why we wear cotton clothes, light colored cotton clothes in summer season. Now, exercise answers. That means the answers to the questions that is provided in the end of the chapter. Convert the following temperatures to the Celsius scale. So I have already told you, to convert Kelvin to Celsius scale, you have to just subtract 273 from the Kelvin reading. That is K minus 273 equal to degree Celsius. So 293 K equal to 293 minus 273 equal to 20 Celsius. 470 K equal to 470 minus 273 equal to 197 Celsius. To convert what we call Kelvin to Celsius, you have to just to subtract 273 from the Kelvin reading. In the opposite, to convert Celsius to Kelvin, you have to add 273. For example, 25 degrees Celsius. To convert it into Kelvin scale, you have to just add 273 with the 25. So 25 plus 273 equal to 298. Again like this, 373 Celsius plus 273 equal to 646 Kelvin. To convert Celsius scale into Kelvin scale, you just have to add 273 to the Celsius reading. Then give reason for the following observations. Naphthalene balls disappear with time without leaving any solid. Naphthalene is a substance that is called volatile substance. That means they directly changes from solid to gas on heating by the process of sublimation. Sublimation means the change of state of a matter from solid to direct gas. Okay. So the naphthalene balls disappear with time as they sublime due to heat of surroundings. Then we can get the smell of perfume sitting several meters away. The smell, that is aroma of perfume, reaches several meters away due to the fast diffusion of the gaseous perfume particles through the air. Because in case of gas, okay, the particles move faster. The kinetic energy of the gas molecules are more as compared to solid and liquid. And the diffuse also. Diffuse means intermixing of particles of two matters. Here, the molecules of smell, that means molecules of perfume, intermixes with the molecules of gas. That's why it reaches several meters away. Okay. Then arrange the following substances in increasing order of forces of attraction between the particles: water, sugar, oxygen. The forces of attraction are strongest in solids and weakest in case of gases. Sugar is a solid, water is a liquid, and oxygen is a gas. So the forces of attraction in the molecules will be highest in case of sugar. In case of water, it will be less than sugar, and oxygen, it will be least. That means very less as compared to water and sugar. So in increasing order, we can write first oxygen, then water, then sugar. What is the physical state of water at 25 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius, and 100 degrees Celsius? At 0 degrees Celsius temperature, water at 0 degrees Celsius temperature, water, that is liquid, gets starts to convert into solid, that is ice form. And at 100 degrees Celsius temperature, water starts to change into water vapor. And between 0 to 100 Celsius, it remains in liquid. So first one, 25 degrees Celsius, water will be in liquid form. Second one, 0 degrees Celsius, water will be in solid or liquid state, because it is a transition state. Because melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. So it is a transition state. So that's why it can be either be in solid form or will be in a liquid form. Then again, also in case of 100 degrees Celsius, it is also a transition state from liquid to gas. So the water may be in liquid form or in gaseous form as a water vapor. Then give two reasons to justify. Water at room temperature is a liquid. Water is a liquid at room temperature because it has a tendency to flow. It takes the shape of the container in which it is filled. Because what we call liquids do not have definite shape. They show the shape of the container in which they are filled. So its volume remains the same, but shape changes according to the what we call container, shape of the container. So water is a liquid. An iron almirah is a solid at room temperature. An iron almirah is a solid at room temperature because its shape and volume are definite. It has definite shape and volume. You know, solid shape, definite shape and volume. It is hard also, it is rigid also. You cannot compress. Okay. Its density is also high. So it is a what you call solid. Why is ice at 273 Kelvin more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? Ice at 273 Kelvin has less energy than water, although both at the same temperature. Why? Water is having additional latent heat of fusion, because water has additional latent heat of fusion. Hence, at 273 Kelvin, ice is more effective cooling than water. Okay, when water changes into ice or ice changes into water, the latent heat of fusion means the amount of heat that is absorbed only to change the state, but temperature does not increase. It is stored. That's why ice at 273 Kelvin more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature. What produces more severe bonds, boiling water or steam? Steam causes more severe bonds than boiling water. The reason is that it releases the extra amount of heat, the latent heat of vaporization, which it has already taken during vaporization. Okay, latent heat of vaporization means the amount of heat that is absorbed to change the liquid form into gaseous form without increasing in the temperature. Latent heat does not increase the temperature, it only being absorbed to only change the state. So, steam causes more severe one because steam has a latent heat. Name A, B, C, D, E and F in the following diagram showing change in the state. Okay, you can see here A means solid changes into liquid. So when solid changes into liquid, it is called melting or fusion. And B is liquid changes into gas. When liquid changes into gas, it is called evaporation or vaporization. And C is gas changes into liquid, that is called condensation or liquefaction. And D is liquid changes into solid, that is called fizzing or solidification. And E, solid changes directly into gas, that is called sublimation. And F is gas directly changes into solid, that is called deposition. Okay, then now we will discuss some self-prepared question answers that are not given in your book, I have created for you. Okay, so to make you understand the chapter very well. So let us discuss. First is fill in the blanks. Question number A. Pressure and dash determine the state of a substance. Pressure and temperature determine the state of a substance, whether it will be solid form, liquid form or gaseous. The unit of pressure is Pascal. 1 atmosphere equal to 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. The pressure of air in atmosphere is called atmospheric pressure. The value of normal atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere, which is the atmospheric pressure at the sea level. Evaporation causes cooling. Unit of weight is Newton and symbol is N. There is a table provided in your book that contains some units and symbols. You have to remember. Okay. Here I have only provided unit of weight is Newton and symbol is N. But in the table there are so many quantity and their units and their symbols. You have to remember all those. Evaporation is a surface phenomenon while boiling is a bulk phenomenon. Okay. Then questions with answers. According to early Indian philosophers, what is matter composed of? Early Indian philosophers classified matter in the form of 5 basic elements, the Panchatattva. Those are air, earth, fire, sky and water. What are the physical natures of matter? Matter is made up of particles. The particles of matter are very small. What is diffusion? How does temperature affect it? Intermixing of particles of two different types of matter on their own is called diffusion. It becomes faster with temperature. Okay, rate of diffusion increases with increasing in temperature. What causes matter to be in different states? Different states of matter are due to the variation in the characteristics of the particles of matter. The characteristics of solids, liquids and gases are different. The rate of diffusion of liquids is higher than that of solids. Why? This is due to the fact that in the liquid state, particles move freely and have greater space between each other as compared to particles in the solid state. That's why rate of diffusion in case of liquids is higher than that of solids. Write the full form of LPG and CNG. Full form of LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, and CNG is compressed natural gas. How can we compress a gas? By applying pressure, by increasing pressure and decreasing temperature. What is density? The mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. Density equal to mass by volume. What are the 3 states of water? Water can exist in 3 states: solid as ice, liquid as water and gas as water vapor. What is melting point? The minimum temperature at which a solid melts to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called its melting point. It is an indication of the strength of the force of attraction between its particles. The melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius or 273.15 Kelvin. What is fusion? The process of melting, that is change of solid state into liquid state, is called your fusion. What is the latent heat of fusion? The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as the latent heat of fusion. But remember, in case of latent heat of fusion, it only changes the state from solid to liquid, but it does not increase the temperature. The heat is being absorbed. The amount of heat that is being absorbed is called the latent heat of fusion. That helps only to change the state only. That is from liquid to what we call solid to liquid, but it does not increase the temperature. What is boiling point? The temperature at which a liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is known as its boiling point. For example, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius or 373 Kelvin. Why do particles in steam have more energy than water at the same temperature? This is due to latent heat of vaporization. Okay, this is because particles in steam have absorbed extra energy in the form of latent heat of vaporization, because the amount of heat that is being absorbed to change the state from liquid to gas is called latent heat of vaporization. It only being absorbed, but it does not increase the temperature. It only helps to change the state of liquid to state of gas. What is sublimation? What is deposition? A change of state directly from solid to gas without changing into liquid state is called sublimation, and the direct change of gas to solid without changing its liquid is called deposition. That means sublimation is the opposite of deposition. Okay. What is the reason behind solid carbon dioxide to be known as dry ice? Solid carbon dioxide is also called dry ice. Why? Because it is stored under high pressure. Solid carbon dioxide gets converted directly to gaseous state on decrease of pressure to 1 atmosphere without coming into liquid state. That's why we have to keep them under high pressure. Otherwise, that will become what? That will become gaseous gas from solid. It will not go through the liquid state. So it is called dry ice. What is evaporation? The phenomenon of change of a liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. In this case, a small fraction of particles at the surface of liquids having higher kinetic energy break away from the force of attractions of other particles and gets converted into vapor. Evaporation is a surface phenomenon. That means the molecules that are at the surface area, they will get more energy, they will get more temperature, they will have more kinetic energy as compared to the other particles that are below them. So they will move, they will break the intermolecular force of attraction and they will get evaporate. Okay, so this is a what we call surface phenomenon. But boiling is not a surface phenomenon. Boiling is a bulk phenomenon, and boiling occurs at the boiling point only or more than the boiling point. But at any temperature below the boiling point, evaporation can occur. What are the factors on which the rate of evaporation depends upon? The rate of evaporation increases with an increase of surface area, an increase of temperature, a decrease in humidity, and an increase in wind speed. That means when surface area increases, rate of evaporation also increases. When temperature increases, rate of evaporation also increases. When wind speed increases, rate of evaporation also increases. But in case of humidity, when humidity increases, rate of evaporation decreases. When humidity decreases, rate of evaporation increases. Why do we spread out clothes for drying up? Evaporation is a surface phenomenon. If the surface area is increased, then the rate of evaporation also increases. So while putting clothes for drying up, we have to spread them out. So in order to increase the surface area. That's why if surface area will increase, then the rate of evaporation will also increase. So it will dry faster. Okay. Why do clothes dry faster on a windy day? Rate of evaporation also depends upon the wind, the speed of wind. If the speed of wind increases, then the rate of evaporation will also increase. So with the increase in wind speed, the particles of water vapor move away with the wind, decreasing the amount of water vapor in the surrounding. That's why evaporation fast. That means the rate of evaporation increases in a windy day. Why do people sprinkle water on the roof after a hot sunny day? The large latent heat of vaporization of water helps to cool the hot surface by absorbing energy in the form of heat. When you put water on the roof, the water will change from liquid form to gaseous form. That means from liquid form to vapor, water vapor. But only the State will change only. Temperature will not change. Why? Because the heat amount that will be needed to change the state of liquid, state of water to gaseous form only will be absorbed. That will that is called the latent heat of vaporization. That will only help in changing of the state from liquid to gas. But temperature will not increase. It will be absorbed only. So when we put water on the roof, okay, the water absorbs temperature from the roof in order to change its what we call state from liquid to gas to become water vapor, but temperature does not increase. Okay, only it will be absorbed, the amount of heat will be absorbed from the surrounding, that is from the roof. That's why you put water, okay, to make it cool. Why should we wear cotton clothes in summer? Already we have discussed. During summer we perspire more because of the mechanism of our body which keeps us cool. Perspire more means more sweat comes from our body. The heat energy equal to the latent heat of vaporization is absorbed from the body, leaving the body cool. The latent heat of vaporization means the amount of heat that is needed to change the state of liquid into gaseous, but temperature does not increase. The heat amount that is being absorbed only helps to change the state only, that is from liquid to gas. So when we wear cotton clothes, cotton is a good absorber of water that helps in absorbing the sweat and exposing it to the atmosphere for easy evaporation. That's why we wear cotton clothes in summer. Why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of a glass containing ice cold water? The water vapor present in air, when it comes in contact with the cold glass of water, loses its energy and gets converted to liquid state. When water vapor that is present in air, when it come contact with the cold glass of water, then it's lost its energy, and when it's lost its energy, it gets converted into liquid state, which we see as water droplets. What is latent heat of vaporization? Latent heat of vaporization is the heat energy required to change 1 kg of a liquid to gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. But latent heat of vaporization only helps the liquid to change into gaseous form, but it does not increase the temperature of the liquid because it is being absorbed. The amount of heat that is being absorbed, it only helps to change the state. That means from liquid to gaseous state, but the temperature does not increase. That is called the latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so I think we have discussed all the possible question answers from your chapter, that is matter in our surrounding. I hope you have understood better the chapter. So those who have not watched the video, the ppt summarize what we call the explanation, ppt explanation of the video of the chapter, you can go to the description. I will provide the link for the video. You can watch again. After that you can watch this video for better understanding. So I hope you have understood the chapter very well by watching both the videos of the PPT discussion and as well as this question answer video. So in every video, in every chapter, we will make two videos. One will be of PPT discussion and one will be of question answer. And in question answer, we will have three types of question answers. First is your in-text question answers, that is provided in your that means in the middle portions of the chapter, and then exercise that are being provided at the end of the chapter, and self-created, self-prepared question answer that I will create for you to make you understand the chapter very well in a better way. So I wish you all the best for your study. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.